Dear children, are you fine? Okay, today we are going to study our last poem, the seventh poem, where the mind is without fear. Who is the poet, children? Yeah, it is written by the famous poet Rabindranath Tagore during the period when India was struggling for freedom from the British rule. Do you like to hear about him? Yes, listen. Rabindranath Tagore was a Nobel Prize winner, was a poet, novelist, musician, painter, and a playwright. This poem features in his most well-known collection, Geetanjali. The original Bengali version of the poem has the title Prayer, and that is what the poem actually is. The poet prays for a world that is free from all kinds of evil. This poem is a part of Geetanjali, a compilation, that means to put together all his poems. The poem is in a form of a prayer to the God, the Almighty, for a true freedom for India. Being a visionary, Tagore aimed at making Mother India free, united, rational, and strong. This poem consists of 11 lines in total. These lines are not divided into stanzas, they are divided into meaningful segments. It's a sweet dream of a great nationalist to strive wholeheartedly to shape cultural, intellectual identity of modern India. The poem begins with this beautiful line where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. The poet prays to the Almighty that his countrymen should be free from any kind of fear of oppression or forced compulsion. He wishes that everyone in his country has his head high in dignity. They should hold their head up fearlessly and have confidence in themselves. According to him, in a truly free country, every person should be fearless and should have a sense of self dignity. He must live his life by way of self respect. Next line, where knowledge is free. The poet dreams of a nation where knowledge is free. Everyone should have free access to knowledge. It should not be restricted to some portion of the society based on class, caste, gender, and other barrier. When the spread of knowledge is restricted, people become dogmatic and narrow minded. Tagore wishes his countrymen to awaken and broaden their minds by enlightening it with the power of knowledge. Knowledge should be available to all citizens. That is, educational institutions should admit students of all races and classes. In the following lines, where the word has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, Tagore wishes for a world which is not fragmented by prejudices based on caste, creed, religion, or other baseless superstitions. The poet describes the domestic walls as narrow. These walls are broken into fragments which indicate very small groups in a country separated from each other by caste, creed, prejudices, and religion. The world breaks the wall into fragments and are the roots of narrowness. The poet wishes the prejudices and superstitions should not divide the people in groups and break their unity. All the various regions of India and their people should be united instead of fighting amongst themselves for supremacy. they should fight together against a common enemy to determine their common fate. In this line, words come out from the depth of truth. Here Tagore wants a nation where people are truthful, they should not be superstitious or superficial, and words should come out from the depth of their hearts. Tagore believes that only honor and faithful people can lead the nation towards prosperity. He says that in the India of his dreams, everyone should speak the truth. No person should lie for his own advantage. The line where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection is an example of fine personification. Personification refers to attribution of human quality in animate ideas. Here, tireless striving has been personified like a human being stretching his arms to reach his goal through perfection. Tagore talks about his desire for a country where people would strive without getting tired to reach perfection, leaving behind prejudices and old traditions. Every man should make an effort to improve himself and keep trying till he reaches a stage of self perfection. Next line, see, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Tagore has used here a metaphor and compared reason to a clear stream that flows smoothly. Just as a flowing river loses its way in a sandy desert, dead customs also harm all the good intellectual qualities of man. Reason is an intellectual power in man that help him to move forward and get a perfection. Reason is not literally a clear stream, but the metaphor let us visualize what it is like to think clearly. Similarly, habits are not a desert. A dreary desert is an image of monotony and barrenness that suggests unthinking habits that is nowhere and yield no harvest. Tagore wants the power of reason to dominate the minds of his countrymen. He doesn't want the stream of reason to be lost amongst outdated customs and traditions, and only that can direct the mind towards selfless thoughts and everlasting action. He imagines the reason to be an unsullied stream of water through which one can progress easily and without encountering too many obstacles. On the other hand, he imagines habit to be a desert. The stream of reason seems to him to be lost in the sands of habit. This means that he is saying that the people of his country blindly believe in their superstitions at present, and he would like them to question these beliefs through the application of logic. Next line, where the mind is led forward by the into ever widening thought and action. Tagore wishes his countrymen to be open minded and progressive. True freedom lies in the mind which is always led forward by the universal mind of the Father into ever widening thought and action. The poet speaks directly to God. He wants his countrymen to be led by God so that they broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their actions. Last line, see children, last line. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, who is Father? God, let my country awake. Through this line, Tagore expresses his vision of India as a heaven where there is freedom of thought, spirit, faith, speech, which will lead to the inner perfection of the self. If the people broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their actions, then India would be transformed into heaven, a heaven where all its citizens would be truly free. It is to be noted that the heaven of freedom, for which the poet is mentioning not the heaven of political and economical freedom, but of spiritual freedom from fear, narrow mindedness, and evil desires. Thus, Tagore wants spiritual, intellectual, and political freedom for his country. Intellectual freedom to enable his countrymen to think freely and enter into a new world of thought. Spiritual freedom will make them fearless, truthful, and free from all narrow prejudices. He thought society ought to strive for perfection, harmony, and beauty. According to him, self respect and self esteem are psychological foundation for the development of individuality. The free flow of knowledge is the basis for a free and prosperous society. So, children, I'll tell you what is the central idea of this poem. In this poem, the poet envisions the future of our India. In this country, no man will live in fear. Instead, they will have a strong sense of self dignity. They will all possess a share of knowledge or wisdom. No Indian will discriminate against another on the basis of class or caste, and all its various states will join hands in the fight against the British. Every man will speak the truth and try to achieve self perfection. They will stop believing in their superstitions and question these with the help of reason instead. They will follow the path of God, and both their thoughts and actions will be righteous. Only then will India be truly free, not just in political terms, but in human terms as well. They will be independent not just in name, but also in spirit. Hello, children. In this way, this poem ends. Did you understand this poem? Recite this poem many times. Complete all the lessons notes and study. Okay. Thank you, children.